Okay, so we are going to go through a list of 5 steps that we've been talking about. Sometimes we'll have to skip over some of them, and that's okay. All right, so this first example, we do have parentheses, so we are going to use our distributive property. Remember, when a variable is alone, it's understood to be a 1. So 3 times y is 3y. 3 times 5 is 15. And then just bring down the rest of the equation. Okay, from here, do we need to combine like terms? No. So then the next thing we ask ourselves, do we need to move a variable to one side? The variable's only on one side, right? So we can skip that step. Do we have a constant by the variable term that I need to move? Yeah, so here's our variable term. This is a constant. So let's move that to the other side of the equation to start to isolate the variable. So this cancels, and 3y equals 30. And then from here, we need to isolate our variable by using multiplication or division. We're going to divide. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1 times y is y. And 30 divided by 3 is 10. Next example. We do have parentheses, so we are going to distribute that 2. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times, and we treat this as if it's a -1. That whole symbol goes together. So 2 times -1 is -2. Bring everything else down. Okay, then we move on to our next thing. Do we need to combine like terms? Yes, we have a 2x and a positive 3x, and combine means to add, right? So what is 2x plus 3x? So now we have 5x, bring down the -2 equals 3. Our next step to check for, do I need to move a variable to one side? There's not a variable on the right-hand side, so no, I don't need to do that step. So the next step, add or subtract a constant. There is a constant with this variable term, so I'm going to start to solve. I'm going to add 2 to both sides. The 2's are inverses, so they cancel. 5x is the only thing left, so bring it down. And 3 plus 2 is 5. Once we move the constant, we check to see if we need to move the coefficient. The coefficient is 5, so we are going to divide by 5. And x equals 1. Okay. Our next example. What is the solution to the equation? We do have parentheses, so we need to go ahead and distribute that. Before you start to distribute, understand this is treat it like it's a -2. So -2 times x is -2x, and -2 times -5 is +10. A negative times a negative is a positive. Bring everything else down. Now we need to check to see if we need to combine like terms. Are there like terms to be combined?
No.
Okay, so 46 is alone, so there's nothing over here. But if you look on the left-hand side, we have 6x and 2x. Both of those are like terms. So +6 and -2. What do those become? 4. +4. So 6x and -2 is +4x. So 4x, and bring everything else down. Now we ask ourselves, do we need to move a variable to one side? Where there's only one variable and it's on the left, so we don't need to move anything. There's not a variable on the side. So we don't need to do that step. The next step is to move our constant. Which one is the constant? 410 or 46? The constant is 10. This is the variable. The constant is with the variable. So the inverse of positive 10 is, this cancels. 4x comes down. 46 minus 10 is 36. And our final step is to divide by the coefficient. So this cancels, and x equals 9. Okay. This example starts with parentheses, so we are going to distribute that 2. 2 times 3x is 6x, and 2 times 7 is 14. Bring everything else down. Try to keep everything in line, so space out your work the way this is spaced out. From here, we ask ourselves, are there like terms? Okay, so we have 6x and an x on the same side as each other. So we will combine those together. This is an understood 1, so 6 and 1 is 7x. Bring down the 14 equals 70. Okay, then do we have a variable on both sides? No, so we don't need to move a variable. The next thing, check for a constant. Here's 7x, we have 14 with it, so we need to move the 14 away. Use subtraction. 7x comes down, and 70 minus 14. Then we need to divide by this coefficient, so divide by 7. And x equals